example. In 1970, on the cover of Time magazine, it said that man-made emissions were causing the next ice age. In the 1990s, they said that man-made emissions were causing the world to global warming, and the world was going to burn up. Neither one happened. In 0203, it leveled off again. It started 98, 99, and in 0203, it started to cool again. We are still operating with an AB 32 in California to combat global warming and cap and trade, when in fact man has no control over global warming at all. Charles Lindzen of MIT has said that over 99%, and this guy is considered perhaps the foremost authority on weather and climate in the United States and maybe the world, 99% plus of all that takes place with weather and climate has to do with the different phases of the sun. It doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing. And yet, we still have people, in the EPA running around with this cap and trade. It just, the IRS. There are 75,000 pages in the IRS, in the regulations. How on earth can it take 75,000 pages? It's just like when they did the same kind of thing when they did healthcare, and it had 27,000 pages, whatever the heck it was, and somebody said, why could it possibly take that many pages to write something? I said, only two things take that many pages to write. One, something that you don't understand, or two, something you don't want the people reading to understand. There is way too much regulation, and in some cases, it's regulated stuff that they don't even have control of. Yeah, we're going to need to, you're right, it's going to take some time. It's not something that's just going to end overnight. But we have to go in there with that mentality to start taking those unnecessary regulations apart, and all these different regulations, and, for example, IRS regulations, EPA regulations, all the different ones that politicians have used to make areas for certain companies open and to make it more difficult on their competition. I think we have somebody in the, I forget which department it is, but this guy from GE, the CEO from GE, is in one of these czars or something, which is interesting. He's like a job czar or something. Except in the last 10 years, he's outsourced 1 million jobs overseas. Since 2007, they haven't paid any taxes, but they paid $84 million to lobbyists. Does any of that make sense? The base thing is we have to go back to the mentality that we're going to straighten this thing out and get things back on track, start making some sense here. And the American people see it and understand it, and they are screaming for somebody to tell them the truth and to step up and do something not based on a party, who's going to make who look good, or I'm going to vote for this because he said it, but somebody to step up and start taking this stuff apart a piece at a time so it makes sense. People on either side will agree when you sit down and show them a solution that makes sense.